Okay, let's try this again. I'm going to wait for someone to come on and tell me if the sound is working. Hello. Welcome. Let me know, is the sound working? Hola. Hello. And welcome to the Divine Non-Binary reading for the collective. Yay, I'm glad the sound is working. So I wanted to just do a reading for the collective, non-binary. We have a lot of the divine feminine and the divine masculine readings out there, and I just, let's have some space for the divine non-binary, where that means is, we all have some of the divine non-binary in us. And so, you don't have to identify as non-binary as your identity for this to be a helpful reading. So, what we're going to do is we're just going to pull some guidance, and we're pulling guidance for the divine non-binary messages, and this is going to help us see how we can move out of polarized thinking and polarized interactions and find that nice gray area in between. So oh, I have to catch up on your podcast, Fox. Chelsea has a great podcast that you should check out. I think it's called the Terror Foxcast. Go ahead and follow Fabling Fox on Instagram because she's awesome and she's got awesome content and a wonderful podcast that's super fun. All right, let's see what our guidance is for the divine non-binary. Yeah, that's why I love it. It's the best podcast ever. Ooh, okay. Right off the bat, we've got the Gemini card of the Lovers. So we are currently in that, I guess, honestly, that just validates for me that we are in touch with the divine non-binary, because this Lovers card is connected to the sign of Gemini, which is the sign of non-duality, which is sort of what we're tapping into here, this energy where we can combine seemingly opposite energies and make them work in a cohesive way, in a compassionate way. And of course, this particular Lovers card is also about learning to have compassion and to come from the heart with one's own self. As you can see, they are stepping through the mirror and handing themselves some spoons to get through the day. That's what I imagine anyway. So this is a cool energy to start out with, is our Lovers card. Let's see what our shining light is, what our guiding light is for the non-binary. Yes, I love the hair. Let's see. What is our guiding light for the non-duality vibe? Six of Cups. Very cool. So this is a card associated with the sun in Scorpio. It has the energy of reunion. With the Six of Cups, we're looking at coming into emotional balance, but also this is a card of joyful nostalgia. It's a card where we can learn from our past. So emotional events and things that stir up our emotions from the past can actually hold valuable lessons and information for us in the present. And this is a card of balance, coming into emotional balance and being able to look at the past with some joy and with the lens of being able to learn and grow from our past emotional experiences. So very cool. That's our guiding light. So where can we look to the past for helpful information today? What in our past is helping us now? What is some information we can learn from our roots that is relevant now? I'm trying to think about that for myself. I have to think on that. I'm sure there's tons I can think of. Yes, Mayday. Mayday. I do love Mayday. I love May. The lusty month of May. All right, so what is supporting us right now? We got the Three of Cups. So this is a card of celebration, joy, coming together with loved ones and celebrating. And I believe in this deck, I also get a vibe of finding joy in your own emotions, sitting with your own emotions, which is a very different take on the card. I mean, in this card, we've got, I think, a manatee and a little shark and an octopus. So this person is not alone, but this person is able to sit with their feelings and just enjoy themselves and their emotional experience. So part of what's supporting us right now is reaching out to loved ones that we enjoy, that lift us up and lift our spirits, and coming together. I think a lot of us, more and more of us are getting vaccinated, and so more and more of us are able to see other vaccinated friends now, and I think we have more of that coming. I think also for people in places like Oregon, where I am, we can find ways to come together safely even while we're in lockdown. We can find ways to connect with each other, and we can absolutely find ways to tap into our own emotions and find joy within our own emotional experience. And maybe that's a challenge right now, but it is in the area of our support. So where we seek out emotional joy, we need to remember to have some fun during these heavy times. So, all right, let's see what we're leaving behind, divine non-binary. What are we leaving in the past? What are we letting die? What are we getting rid of to make room for the new? All right, we are leaving behind the Ten of Wands, which is a nice energy to leave behind. This is a card of completion, saying that we have finished a chapter. The Ten of Wands is also asking us what burdens can we release. We're carrying too much when we see the Ten of Wands. We're carrying too much. Often it's affecting our spirit. It's weighing down on our spiritual side, and it's blocking our creativity, our ability to create. So what we're leaving behind is carrying burdens that are not our own to carry. And coming into a healthier place. With that Six of Cups, we're coming more into balance. So I like seeing that in the position of what we're leaving behind. All right, where are we headed? What is the energy we're heading into for the divine non-binary? Hey, Val. We're doing a divine non-binary reading for the collective. What energy are we heading into as we try to move away from polarities, as we embrace, I mean, we're not moving away. We have to embrace the polarities that exist. But in such a polarized place, I mean, the earth doesn't just have a north and south pole, you know, we've got a lot of poles. There's a lot of polarization on this planet. And so the trick is to find our way into the neutral spaces when things are so polarized. So just to reword that a little, we're not really trying to move away from polarization. That's impossible. All right. Let's see where we're headed, divine non-binary. Okay, we're headed into the world energies. So we are closing a big chapter. It's interesting that we're leaving behind the Ten of Wands. So we're leaving behind carrying too much, carrying burdens that are not ours to carry, carrying burdens that we do not need to be carrying anymore. We're leaving that behind. We're entering a beautiful new chapter. This is a big cycle coming to a close. We've got the energies of Capricorn and Saturn in there. So we're talking about the completion of a cycle, and often we have learned a ton, and now we're ready to step into a brand new chapter. The World is the last card in the major arcana. So it's the card that the Fool comes to after they have met and encountered each energy of the major arcana, and now they have a more complete picture, and we're ready to re-enter that Fool energy and take some new leaps of faith and take some new paths. Where are we headed, divine non-binary? Where are we headed? Nice. 6 of Wands. I would say for those of us who are struggling right now, keep hope, keep holding on, because we are going to come out on top. We are going to come out victorious. We're going to come out and come back into spiritual balance. It's hard right now. Part of why I wanted to do a divine non-binary reading and talk about non-duality is that everything is really crazy right now. Everything going on in India, here in certain areas of the US. I mean, it's really easy to get swept up in the back and forth with your emotions as you keep yourself informed, as I'm waiting for news from India every day and waiting for updates. And I wanted to step into some non-duality because I find that that's a nice safe space to come back to. Really, it's home for me as a Gemini rising who identifies as non-binary. It's home for me, and part of why it's home is because we can come to a place of acceptance for things as they are in the present. And that doesn't mean that we just accept injustices and we accept fucked up things happening. It means that we come to a place of acceptance inside ourselves and we stop battling within ourselves. We come to a place of acceptance, and then we can begin to see. I feel that many solutions lie in being able to see how these opposing energies can come together, We need that more than ever now. So it's not easy. It's not an easy space to hold. And the 6 of Wands lets us know that we're coming out of the challenging period and we will come out victorious. We will come out on top and we will come back into balance. So I love to see that for us. I do. Let's pull One more card. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Let's pull an advice card for the day-to-day. Daily advice card for our daily lives. Ooh. Goodness. All right, interesting. So for our daily lives, we've got the Three of Wands. I love this card. This card to me feels exciting when I'm coming out of a time where I feel blocked in being able to visualize the future. This card has the energy of foresight and Mars and Aries. We are ready to look to the future, to start planning for the future. If you can see in the background, it's almost like there's another planet here. There's like some kind of UFO. Like this person is visualizing way in the future and really letting their imagination go wild, right? And I think this is a nice card. So our daily advice with the Three of Wands for me is it's time to start thinking about what we want to do. What do we want to create? And where do we want to go? This is a really good time to start making some plans as we're in Taurus season and we're asked to slow down a bit. We're entering another Mercury retrograde at the end of May. So we are asked to slow down at this time anyway, and it's a beautiful time to start visualizing and fantasizing about the future and making a little roadmap for yourself. And we're in the Fool, daily advice of the Fool. So the Fool reminder, you've got everything you need. You've got your little companion here. You've got your backpack that has everything you need. You've got a little lunch with you. And the advice here is set off on your own adventure in some way. Take little leaps of faith every day. Do things that are a little bit out of your comfort zone. You know, obviously things that are pandemic safe, please. But, you know, do some things that are out of your comfort zone a little. Take some leaps of faith on a daily basis. So that is the daily advice. And let's pull one message for this waning moon phase. What are we releasing with this moon phase for the divine non-binary? What are we releasing as we head to the new moon and a new moon phase? What are we releasing in these last parts of the waning moon? Oh my goodness. All right, so this is really cool. We are releasing the Eight of Wands. So we're releasing a sort of chaotic energy. The Eight of Wands is cool in the sense that things are changing and you really can take off and things are swiftly and rapidly transforming, but it's also a very sort of, there's a lot of up in the air, you know, like in a lot of the decks you have the wands up in the air. In this deck, you know, you've got stuff spilling out of the bags as they run towards, you know, what they're running towards and towards their truth. So we're leaving behind, we're letting go of this energy because we've been through it, we've been going through it. This is what we're releasing, is everything that has come from these changes and this transformation. And this opens us up for an Ace of Swords clarity moment. The fog is lifting and we can feel inspired and have new opportunities to use our minds in a new way, to have a new line of thinking, new thought processes. Yeah, this is an exciting time that we're entering. So let's hold hope because ultimately, we are heading into the Six of Wands. We are going to get through anything. We're going to get through these challenging times into where we are sitting on the cushions of decolonization, rebirth, and victory. So I love that energy for us. So thank you for joining my divine non-binary reading. I'll be back on a little later to pull some cards and messages for anybody that wants them. And I hope you all have a beautiful evening. I'll see you later. Please do join me for tarot bedtime stories tonight. We pull cards, we tell a bedtime story, and then I pull cards for people at the end who are still there, who are still awake. So, so I will be back in a couple hours to do live readings. Thanks for joining my divine non-binary reading. Let me know if you'd like more of these. And I have this adorable little singing bowl, which really hits my crown chakra. So I'm going to do that for a little bit. All right, everyone, I'll see you a little later. And on Hell, I will do the wave drum tonight if you are around for the bedtime stories. I love you all, especially my fellow NBs. I love you, and I hope you enjoyed this reading.